This race was going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, let's go.
I was on the best form of my very short 2-year racing career. The car was fast and I was feeling very confident. My test day went without issue and I finally got my best quali ever, P5. I had out-qualified my teammate for the first time, Tom Westworth, and I was only half a second off the defending F1000 champion Craig Pollard. Things were looking pretty good. My crash last year was something that I had blocked out. I'm a different driver now. I'm more confident, more skilled, and more experienced. There was a small issue come race day. The day before, we had played around with the setup, getting a softer front suspension so we were able to pivot the car faster to deal with understeer. This meant it was a little bit more twitchy, a little harder to control, but it was faster and it worked. However, when we went out for quali, the track had changed completely.
I can't believe, like, my rear was all over the place. Like, what's going on with yours?
Mine was the exact same. Going through mountain, coming down the gooseneck, I was completely sideways, even first corner.
Yeah, I was like turning early for the gooseneck, like trying to get it so like do what I was doing yesterday. I hit the grass quite badly, like to the point where I'm surprised I didn't spin. But people were hitting that and hitting the dust up again. Like, it was crazy.
No, I don't know, cause like I say, mine was everywhere. Back corner, last corner, so I got a bad run onto the straight.
I couldn't get the power down on the last corner.
No, like every time I was sideways coming out, and then I try and get the power down, and then just like Tokyo.
How much curb are you taking on that last corner?
I'm not taking any. I'm literally just like getting as close as I can.
Unsettles it, so I think it's a bad thing. So I think I need to take less curb there, maybe like turn in later and get a bit more power down to rotate it.
So I had to revert to the original setup. It made me a little bit nervous knowing I'd be a bit slower, but it meant that at least I'd be finishing the race for that all-important top 10 reverse grid for race 2. That's where I'm going to get my podium.
P5, P6, first time out qualifying it, fucking buzzing. We just got to keep up with Clennell now, don't we? Which obviously we can do, but then do we want to do the whole let's not fight each other, whoever gets in front for turn 1 stays in front, unless someone makes a mistake.
But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be.
Follow Clennell, let him keep up with the guys in front. If we start dropping back, then it's game on. But it's just trying. Do you know who's behind us? Was it? I assume Satchwell. But I think he's a little bit behind you, isn't he? Because he just doesn't have the car at the moment. So I think it'll be me, you, and Clennell.
I feel like it's the top 3, like usual. Us 3, and then everyone else.
Sam just in front of those. Maybe the front 3 hold each other up. Or battling, or maybe something kicks off and we can just pounce.
Yeah, we get a nice little cheeky podium.
Yeah. If you're ahead and you're about to get P3, can we swap so I get my first podium?
I'll have to have a think about it.
You know, turn 2, it's quite a big curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I smashed that and the back went like wild, and then I was like trying to control it on the way back through, and I was just like, because then obviously the grass comes in, doesn't it? So then for turn 3, you're just like, don't touch it. But
even the one before the last corner though, like sideways.
Yeah, sideways out of it. Such a slow corner that you're just like drifting out of it.
Yeah, compared to yesterday.
Because we've only done, I only did half a second quicker than yesterday on new tyres. Didn't we have this last year? New tyres weren't that much better.
No, here they weren't much different compared to like Open Park, we were 2 seconds a lot faster.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I don't feel they came in very quickly. Like, I didn't really enjoy that. It was quite scary. The heat and the dry map was awful.
alone in the helmet, waiting for the race to start. So this is some pretty interesting footage of us warming up our tyres. So this is just pre-race. Unfortunately, Kale's had an issue with the car, so pushing it off there, trying to get out of the way. Warming up the tyres, warming up the brakes, trying to get some temp in. Coming around the sort of final section here, ready to get into this race start. And we're off. I thought I'd show you the external camera first. Show how close the racing is, how awesome some of these corners are. And yeah, as you can see, a bit of an insight into what's coming up in about 10 seconds. We'll get onto the race start very shortly. So here we are for race 1 at Cadwell Park. Lights are on. Big 11s there. A lot of tyre being laid down by all 5 of us. Decent start by myself and everyone else, even Sam's actually behind us. Small lift through turn 1 just whilst the tyres are cold, but didn't really need to. Staying right on the back of Craig here. He's looking up the inside of Clonell, but not really going to make a move. So onto the main straight here. Sitting in the middle, making sure I'm defending against Sam, who's behind, but not too close. A bit late on the brakes here, which is nice. Craig very close to Clonell up at front there, but it's just, you know, you're not really going to get past here if you've got the right positioning. So now going through the gooseneck, carrying quite a bit of speed here. Often pretty late on the brakes down the hill, which we are, so we close up the gap. Take a little bit of curb, helps the rotation sometimes. Going now into the bottom of the mountain. Probably not going to make a pass here, so it's just about sticking with them, but a little bit slow on the right hander there, so gapped me a little bit, but going through the S's pretty quick. So we're getting towards the end of the first lap here. I'm pretty happy to still be stuck onto the back of the top 4, but I'm just always slow for these final 2 corners. They end up gapping me on the straight, but not to worry, this new engine's good. So a little bit further down on lap 2, we're still going through this section, going towards the gooseneck. A little bit snap there, a bit nervous, but we're pretty fast through the gooseneck, down the hill, and on the braking zone, so we're getting closing that gap up. So just kind of flicking through the race highlights here, sticking in my P5 position. Losing them in the final 2 corners and on the main straight. Skipping ahead to lap 5, so we're in the 123s. Last 3 laps have been fairly consistent, within a tenth of each other. We're still close enough to Craig here to be a bit of nuisance in his mirrors, but really not close enough to make a move yet. He's going to have to rely on a mistake. Let's be honest, that's probably coming from me more than it will be from him, but really buzzing halfway through the race to be stuck onto the back of Craig here still. Reminder, he is the defending champion. And that's Clonell in front, kicking up a bit of dust. You always get excited when you see that happen. It means someone's maybe made a mistake, or maybe the nerves are getting to them, but not with these guys. Awesome shots here, recorded by my videographer George. Back on board now, we're going up the mountain. Bit of a wheel lock there, so a little bit squirrely on the way out, but nothing too major. Fast through the S's, and again a snap of oversteer as we go through, but really pinpoint precision, trying to get around this second to last corner. No oversteer unlike usual. Absolutely flying through there, late on the brakes, and then we get past Craig Pollard here in exactly the same position he overtook us last year. Turns out he had a gear selector issue, exactly what I had last year when he overtook me in that same spot.
So we're up to P4. Not only a top 5 position, but 4th. And we're final lap now. And Tom Westworth has caught right up with us. So since Craig had his issue with the gear selector, I took a few of the laps. You can see there, lap 8 I took quite easy, started to lift a little bit, nearly a 127, because I thought might as well save the tyres for the rest of the race, for the next race and the rest of the weekend. And then out of nowhere Tom comes up behind me, so yeah, this last lap was a little hairy with him right up behind me. But knowing that as long as I made it through the gooseneck and up to the mountain with no mistakes, he's not going to get past through the S's, and he's definitely not going to get past in the final section unless I really messed up, which we do know I've done before. So it's just about managing him through here. You can be overcautious by braking too hard. He might go into the rear of you, as he doesn't really do there, but it's close enough, and we get a good exit on the second to last corner. Turn in, a bit nervous, back on the power. We're actually gapping him here. And we're going to cross the line in P4. Couldn't be more happy about that.
What a result. That's P4, my first top 5 finish in Jedi F1000.
Huge shout out to my team at TSR for running such an awesome car that weekend. To Matthew around Harido, my awesome driver coach, for getting the best out of me. And also, of course, George Suster, the videographer extraordinaire, who's got these amazing shots.
Yes, it would have been P5 if Craig didn't have an issue with his gear selector, but that's motor racing. I've had plenty of that myself. I did think that I actually overtook Craig in exactly the same position he overtook me last year when I had a gear selector issue. So now I'm starting P5, a little further back than I wanted to for the reverse grid, but it's definitely the best opportunity. I've got the fast guys behind me. Am I going to be able to deliver on my first podium? Subscribe to see race 2 in part 3 of this video series.